Dark Days by Max Ehrmann, 1872 to 1945. What fool shall say, "My days are fair, God's in his world and all is well," when half mankind shrieks in despair, worse than in Dante's flaming hell? I cannot sing in happy mood while hostile armies take their toll. On these dark days I toil and brood with starless midnight in my soul. And yet, O world, O life, O God, I find myself jest as the fool, believing in thy chastening rod, believing still that love must rule. Okay, so this poem is by Max Ehrmann. Let's see. His parents were emigrated from Germany in the 1940s to the United States. He was born in the US. He came from Indiana. He was a lawyer, an attorney. He's best known for his poem Desiderata, written in the 1920s. Although this poem didn't actually become famous until after his death. He was really best known as a lawyer and as a businessman. So, Dark Days by Max Ehrmann. Okay, so this is talking about his attitude to problems. I think it's talking about his belief in good, no matter how bad things look. His belief that love rules the world. He believes that things will turn out all right, that love will conquer all. So he begins this one with, "What fool shall say, my days are fair? God's in his world and all is well." So you've got to be an idiot to say, what fool shall say, everything's great, my days are wonderful, yeah, God, everything is perfect, all is well, there's nothing wrong, yeah. You can't say something like this, because look, when half mankind shrieks in despair, so half of mankind is screaming in desperation, worse than in Dante's flaming hell. So he's now comparing the world, or saying half the world is in, it's as if people are living in Dante's Inferno. And you've got to be mad to say everything's fine, the world's perfect, everything will work out. I cannot sing in happy mood while hostile armies take their toll. So it can't be right to be happy with the world while there is fighting and there are armies fighting. I have a feeling that this may be referring to the First World War, but I'm not certain of that. And how can I be happy while wars are taking place? On these dark days I toil and brood with starless midnight in my soul. So when I think about wars and the problems of the world like this, I brood, it goes over and over in my mind. With starless midnight, I love this imagery. This is a metaphor that in his soul, in his feeling that everything is black, it's midnight without stars, and his soul is black, his mood is black. yeah, and he's thinking about about how terrible things are. And yet, however, but, and this is the big but, this is the Volta, the change in the poem. O world, O life, O God, I find myself jest as the fool, believing in thy chastening rod, believing still that love must rule. But despite all of this, despite all these bad things, I find myself in the position of the fool. Yeah, in the position of the jester. It seems like a joke, but I believe that God will, thy chastening rod, hear this, thy, you, this is saying God, and to chasten, to to tell somebody that they're doing something bad. So thy chastening rod, it's like the stick of God that is going to make people do the right thing. So I believe that your power, God's power, will make people do the right thing. And I believe that despite all these bad things, that love will conquer all, that love will rule, that love is the most important thing. So I feel like I'm an idiot, but I still believe that God will show man the way, and love will be the guiding light for all mankind. So enough. If you enjoyed the video, give it a rating, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you soon. Bye for now. Dark Days by Ehrmann.